Well, Congressman Flood, on what the president is trying to do, one of the messages we heard coming out of the White House was don't play into Democrats' hands, don't stop this bill from ultimately passing. You were at the White House today, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But what was the messaging from the president in terms of what he said that the Republicans should say in response to this? One thing we heard was that he was telling Republicans today the bill doesn't touch Medicaid, which it does touch Medicaid. Maybe some people like that, but it does affect Medicaid.
Well, the president was talking about this bill meaning growth. I'd have a hard time sleeping if I were in his shoes tonight, because we're looking down the barrel of the biggest tax increase in American history if we do nothing. And apparently voting no is acceptable, but the American people that are trying to put food on the table need to know that this is a $1,700 a year tax on every single Nebraskan. That's a lot of money. There's a lot of money on the table here, and there's no talk from any of the Democrats about what to do with taxes other than let them go up. The other thing, you talk about Medicaid. Listen, Lisa Murkowski, she pushed that rural hospital fund from $25 billion to $50 billion. That's sizable. Nothing happens at all in the next couple of years. Talking to Dr. Oz at CMS, a lot of this is the Biden-era giveaways in the state-directed payments program that skyrocketed from 2020 to 2024. You can look at this chart that I have right here, and you can see what the Biden administration has done. We're basically, in the future, taking Medicaid, what it was before all of our hospitals were full of people during the COVID pandemic, which, by the way, has been over now for a couple of years, and the Democrats want to keep shoveling money into programs that are not delivering for the American people.
But Congressman Flood, can I just follow up with you on that? Because there's an estimate from the Center on Budget and Policy that estimates about 37,000 Nebraskans could lose coverage by 2034. What do you believe that number is, if you disagree with it?
Well, I've been on the phone all week with the Nebraska Hospital Association. Something that you need to know that not many do know is that Nebraska is just coming into the provider tax system. So there's going to be an additional $1 billion flowing into Nebraska hospital providers, Medicaid providers in the coming year. I think any estimate that people are coming off Medicaid in Nebraska is wrong. I think we have to look at the big picture. It's easy to pick one program, but remember, you've got provider payments, you've got state-directed payments, you've got critical access hospitals that have less than 25 acute beds. All of that is working together to deliver health care. I was in the legislature for 10 years. I was the speaker for 6. I know that every single year Nebraskans have increased provider rates. So if we want to talk about what happens, it's going to go well in Nebraska. States that are well managed, that have people that are working, our unemployment is at 1%. I'm not worried about the waste, abuse, and fraud, but I do worry about that in places like New York and California, where that chart there is taking care of illegals, and that should not happen.
Congressman Ryan, what's your response to that in terms of what this will do to Medicaid?
There are so much BS in that answer, I don't know where to begin. The reality is you can throw out stats that are made up. You can hold up a chart that who knows where it came from.
It came from the CMS. I'll get you a copy of it.
I'm happy to speak if you'll show some respect, please, as I've done for you. There are almost 100,000 people in your district, sir, almost 200,000 in mine, that are going to be affected by these cuts. Half of them are kids. Half of them are kids under the age of 18 on the child health insurance program, started by George W. Bush, by the way. They're going to lose their health care. That is an objective fact, and the fact that this is being spun as anything else is really just pathetic. And I think, with all due respect to my colleague, your constituents know that. We've seen at your town halls that they know the harm that's coming, and they're speaking out, and the fact that you're not listening to them shows how the entire Republican Party is more about following President Trump than actually supporting the American people.
You notice there how he didn't want to talk about waste, fraud, or abuse. He didn't want to talk about all the illegal